letter then, Sayyid, the one you want to show.
The next pronouncement that I want to share very quickly with you, because the idea that the Sayyid that we are responding to was making is that no, the solution is to return to Najh Al Balagha, as if somehow if we return to Najh Al Balagha, it's going to bail out the traditional 12-hour Imami narrative.
No.
Our claim is the opposite. Look at Sermon 92. This is لما أراده الناس على البيعة بعد قتل عثمان, when people decided to swear allegiance to Amir al-Mu'mineen after the murder of Uthman. So they're coming to him and saying, now we want to elect you as our leader, as our Imam and Caliph. And look at the response of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Keep in mind, first, the traditional Imami narrative, which says that this is an Imam who believes in his own divine appointment, and he believes that the entire ummah, it is obligatory on them to obey him and accept him as the Imam. And compare that with the actual statement of the Imam. When the people come and finally decide to give him bay'ah, his first reaction is, da'uni waltamisu ghayri. He says, leave me alone and seek someone else. Imagine, if this was a divine mandate, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you a job to do, even if the first time, let's say the ummah didn't choose you, second time they didn't choose you, third time they didn't choose you, even if they come to you the fourth time, because your duty is divinely ordained, you have to jump and pounce at the opportunity. Don't you think if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, appointed you to a certain task, let's say to conduct this show, but the first time they didn't accept you, second time they didn't accept you, third time, when they came to you the fourth time, you would say, look, I don't care. This is a divinely ordained duty. I have to do it whenever I get the chance.
I should have been doing it from the I should have been doing it from the beginning. If you stop me doing it, well, I'm doing it now. I have to do it.
But this shows you that Imam Ali alayhi salam does not believe in any kind of divine mandate. He believes this is something that is an option. He is entitled to it. His merits eminently qualify him for this, but it is not something that is a binding command on from Allah on him. And that's why he has the option whether to take it or to leave it. And in the first caliphate, he was interested. He wanted it. But now that things have, gone south, and there's so much.
Because now it's a mess. So it's like, oh, so now you want me to become it?
Exactly. But you see, a divinely appointed figure is not allowed to.
The only one that can.
When the Prophet was chosen by Allah, he did not say, Allah, you should have chosen me immediately after Ibrahim. Community is all immersed in idol worship. The whole system has changed. Kaaba has become a house of idol worship. Now I don't want to do this.
The only one that can make that argument is someone who's not divinely appointed.
Exactly. So look, very clear words. Leave me and seek someone else. We are facing a matter which has several faces and colors, which neither hearts can stand nor intelligence can accept. Clouds are hovering over the sky and faces are not discernible. You should know that if I respond to you, I would lead you as I know, and I would not listen to the utterance of any speaker or the reproof of any reprover. Basically, he's saying, I'm going to go by the Quran and Sunnah, and
I'm not going to be
you're not going to be able to handle me. I'm not going to listen to anyone. I'm just going to listen to Quran and Sunnah, and you people are not going to like that. So if you leave me, but wait a minute, if they leave him, are they not disobeying God?
Yeah.
And so if they are disobeying God by leaving him, then is his commanding them to leave him not an encouragement and an incitement to disobedience of God? Do you understand the point?
Yeah. Because if you're saying leave me, that's again the mandate of obligatory obedience. So you can't say, as someone divinely chosen, you can't say leave me.
You can't say leave me. You have to keep on working. Even if people leave you, you have to call them back towards you.
Yes.
So here it's the opposite. The people are actually coming and saying, okay, now we want you as the leader. And he's saying, no, I'm not interested anymore, because the situations, the circumstances.
And that last line, I would listen to and obey whoever you make in charge of your affairs. I am better for you as a counselor than as a chief.
That's
even more interesting.
This is the killer. This is basically where he says, if you leave me alone and choose someone else, then I'm going to be the same as you are, right? But how can he be the same as we are? We are not. The rest of the people are not divinely appointed. How can a divinely appointed figure become the same as non-divinely appointed figures? But he's saying, that's what I want you to do. If you leave me, then I am the same as you are. It is possible, he says, that I would listen to and obey whomever you make in charge of your affairs. I would listen to and obey them more. They've not translated this properly. In the original Arabic, this is what it says. It says, وَلَعَلِّي أَسْمَعُكُمْ وَأَطْوَعُكُمْ لِمَنْ وَلَّيْتُمُوهُ أَمْرَكُمْ. it is possible that I may be the most obedient and the most cooperative with the one whom you choose as the leader.
Oh, wow.
Now, can you imagine if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has appointed you as the leader and the people choose someone else? Are you allowed to cooperate with that someone else? Are you allowed to obey that someone else?
No, because he would be known as a usurper.
He will be a usurper. He will be someone whose very rule goes against the will and wishes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there can be no cooperation and no coordination with such a person. But Imam Ali alayhi salam is saying, no. If you leave me alone, it may be that I might be the most obedient and the most cooperative with the one whom you. Now, the reason why he says la'alli perhaps is because it is dependent on whether that person follows the Quran and Sunnah. So if he follows the Quran and Sunnah, it's possible, Imam Ali says, that I will be the most obedient to him. If he doesn't follow the Quran and Sunnah, then obviously I'm going to have to differ with him. But it is entirely possible that you appoint someone who does respect the Quran and Sunnah. And so in that case, I would be the most obedient and the most cooperative with that person. And then look at this last line, which is an even bigger killer. He says, وَأَنَا لَكُمْ وَزِيرًا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ مِنِّي أَمِيرًا. I am better as an advisor, as a counselor, as a minister for you, rather than as your ruler, as your leader, and as your chief. Now, if he had been appointed to the position of leadership by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do you think he would ever say that, no, actually Allah may have chosen me as a leader, but my own personal preference is different from Allah's will. I would rather be your counselor and your advisor.
No, you can never. That last line about counselor, that does not add up. Let me guess. Is that going to be a long footnote as well? There should be a long footnote on that as well, because that last line, again, you see the theological charged version is not. Yeah, look, it looks quite long.
Yeah,
I knew it. You see, I knew it. Whenever there's a long footnote, know that the crime scene has started. So
basically, you need a lot of acrobatics, gymnastics. You need to put a spin on it.
We're going to start, the gymnastics season. So very good, Syed. Thank you for that introduction, giving us, like we said, like according to your research, you've done it. This is your expertise in Najh Al Balagha. You've done a core of your PhD on it. Najh Al Balagha is with us. It's not with them.
Absolutely.
So, without further ado, you've given that introduction. The viewers know what's going on. They're about to understand and for the viewers that have Najh Al Balagha on their shelf, the Shia households that have Najh Al Balagha but don't read it, maybe after the show they're going to start reading it and understanding this book's is going to shake your foundation and actually show you that the historical Imam Ali is actually very different to what you've been taught.
Definitely. We'll request the Al-Islah admins to post the links as well, so that those who want to check these sermons and these statements and writings online may do so. But ultimately, for those of you who want to understand why we differ from the rest of the popular crowd, it is because of texts like these. And there are tons of texts like these in the sources that you will discover once you go deeper.